Many of us live with a very specific, quiet ache. You check every box and follow every instruction, yet despite revving the motor at a constant red line, you find yourself stuck. You are left with a persistent sense of spiritual hollowness that sleep never seems to fix. We tend to blame our own discipline for this fatigue, but the failure point is actually in the underlying architecture of the modern world. Our society functions as a massive industrial city, providing a default programming that dictates how we live, eat, and think. This city runs on a specific logic: anxious toil. In this environment, human worth is calculated strictly by output. If you aren't producing, you have no value, leading to a life defined by the relentless pursuit of more. Burnout is the inevitable friction of human psychology trying to operate within this machine-centric logic. You aren't failing to keep up. You are running hardware on an incompatible system that was never designed for your flourishing. If the city itself is the source of the breakdown, then the only logical step is to leave its jurisdiction entirely. This is the Great Defection, a deliberate act of secession from this toxic programming in favor of a new operating system called the kingdom. Achieving peace requires more than just adding new habits to a broken life. It requires a swap of the core logic, recognizing that you cannot fix the symptoms of the industrial city while you are still signed in to its network. These two systems manage human behavior in very different ways. The industrial city uses a policy manual, a collection of restrictions designed to maintain the city's power and ensure your continued production. The kingdom operates via the Golden Scroll. This is a manufacturer's blueprint. It provides the operational parameters for your life, offering instructions on how to function so that your soul doesn't break down under pressure. This difference in design becomes obvious when we look at how the two systems process the concept of time. The city runs on chronos, which treats time as a linear, predatory countdown. In this mindset, every second is a finite resource you must beat into submission, resulting in a perpetual fear of falling behind. The kingdom uses kairos, time viewed as cyclical and rhythmic. Instead of a countdown, life is organized around preordained divine appointments. The Sabbath is the visible sign of this rhythm, a structural pause where you cease labor, proving the system sustains itself with frantic hustle. By aligning with the manufacturer's blueprint for time, you stop your internal engine from running hot. You are no longer fighting your own design, which cures the chronic friction that causes burnout. Upgrading your OS also changes how you process the movement of resources. The industrial city runs on the pond model, where money and time are viewed as strictly finite. If the pond is small, you have to protect your share. This logic demands a scarcity mindset, forcing you to hoard and accumulate as much as possible just to survive an uncertain future. The kingdom runs on the law of the seed and valve. Resources are a flowing river, not a stagnant pond. You act as a conduit. Generosity, maaser, is the valve keeping the river moving. Releasing resources ensures more is always on its way to you. Financial security in the kingdom is found in the release, not the hoard. By keeping the valve open, you move from a life of self-preservation to one of constant provision. The final step in this defection is a change in identity. You are no longer an anxious subject trying to earn your worth. You are a shaliach, an ambassador, and a joint heir who already has a seat at the table. This new identity changes the very reason you get out of bed in the morning. Citizens of the industrial city are essentially slaves who work for rest. You grind through the week to earn a moment of peace that is usually too short to actually recharge you. In the kingdom, you work from rest. You are sustained by the finished work of the king, meaning your value and provision are secured before you ever start your task. Audit your own life today. Look for the places where you are still running the city's code, where you are hoarding out of fear or striving to prove you matter. You were not designed for the frantic grind of the machine. By embracing this new operating system, you can finally occupy shalom, living in the original, optimal state of wholeness you were created to experience.